What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have a weapon database that I'm so excited to share with you. I hope you're doing fantastically well. So let's jump into the topic. The database is here and I will share the link in the comment sections and in the doobie-dooba in the chatty chat. I have all the data: physical attack, magic attack, the type of damage they do, the abilities, if they do water resistant or electric resistant, and so on and so forth. Then after that I have the abilities so that we can double check what the point means. And then I have some recommendations around loadouts. In this video we are going to focus on two loadouts: one to become the god of thunder and one to become the god of water damage. Before we jump into the loadouts, I want to start with two tips so that you improve your output, your outcomes. The first one is about focusing on stats. Every weapon has stats. They're internal. Once you hold the button, you can see them here on the left-hand side. We tend to pay attention, a lot of attention, to the R abilities, and they are indeed really important, but we need to look at things holistically. When it comes to weapons, in particular, the rarity means that quite likely they will have better stats, so the rarity and the level, so we need to focus on those. If we do this trick, the main weapon, think about this, the main weapon should always be your highest weapon, whenever possible. If we change the Murasame for the Maritime Sword, just because the Maritime Sword is higher rarity, I get a boost of like almost 4k points, and I get all this benefit in stats. I'm still using the other skin, so if I change the skin I will get even the water mastery, so that means that the ability will be even higher. So let's start from there. This also applies to sub equipment. So when you think about physical attack, your R abilities, you also need to think about the stats. For example, let's do this, right? If I change my Falcon with the 1000 waves that we got in the event, this gives me HP and magical defense. So for a DPS, it doesn't look like the best option, but on the contrary, once we look at things via the stats, we have, look at this, all my stats are improving because the 1000 waves gives me 351 physical attack and 355 magical attack. Therefore, the option is like clear. I will use this one. Now, this is like something key. And when it comes to my recommendations based on data, this is how I took my decisions. I'm looking at things in combination. So when it comes to becoming the god of thunder, right? My recommendation is to use the following weapons. But first of all, let me guide you through why did I choose to use these weapons: the Murasame, the Seaside Collar, Crystal Gloves, and Mad Minute. When it comes to lightning potency, let's check here, right? Boost lightning potency will give us up to 120% damage when it comes to lightning attacks, which is insane. That's like an insane amount of damage. But another ability that we have been sleeping, at least I wasn't fully aware of this until I made this effort to create this database, is the boost physical ability potency, boost magical ability potency, and the other one that boosts both. This one. Oh, actually, this is duplicated, so we can delete this one. Nice. This one boosts both. This one I would then recommend because I think it's better if your character is focused on either physical or magical. Now, when it comes to this one, the only requirement is that you are in an attack stance and your limit is in your gauge, your command is on max, which is like almost all the time when you are in an attack stance. And this one will give you up to 80% of physical damage. This is a lot. If you combine this one with the boost elemental potency, then you have a lot of output. Because of that, before we jump into the God of Thunder, I want to recommend two weapons that any DPS I think should have. Those are the enemy launcher and the Mad Minute. Enemy launcher from Barret, the Mad Minute from Lucia. So it doesn't matter whatever you're playing, as long as you're playing a DPS, these two weapons are gonna help you, a physical DPS, these two weapons are gonna help you massively. In the future I will also be covering like magical DPS and all different combinations. For now I think most of us are focusing on Cloud or maybe Glenn or maybe Thug or maybe Barret as the top DPS. So let's have a look into this. This one gave us 549 physical attack. That's a lot. And it gave us 48 points on boosting the physical ability, same as this one. Mad Minute help us to be a bit more tanky. Enemy Launcher help us to also have physical and magical boost via this attack. Yeah, so Mad Minute is my favorite out of the two, because it focuses on give me health, so it makes me a bit more tanky. This one because it splits physical boost and magical boost. I'm not so keen on that, but both of them are fantastic. Now, when it comes to choosing my God of Thunder loadout, because of that, I put a Mad Minute here, because it will give me HP. If we order all the different lightning potency weapons plus the stats, and we order the stats, the physical attack, Murasame comes on top. This probably is your main. Seaside Color comes second, and then the rest are good to consider, but potentially not the best one. Special mention to the SSR, because it has 48, is the one that gives us a higher lightning potency, but the physical attack, the base stat, is not as good. It helps us being a bit tanky, but to be honest, in comparison to the Crystal Globes, you're gonna be way more tankier with 54% HP, and then 36, which is like really close to 48. If I was going to build God of Thunder, this would be my recommendation. Seaside Color. Let me move this one here. Seaside Color, Crystal Globes, and Mad Minute. That will give you a total of like 72 lightning pots, which is like 100% of lightning damage, plus 96 of boosting physical attack, which is another 80% of physical attack, which this 80% will help not only lightning, but also on any other. For example, if you are using Quake Blow, if you're using Water Blow, or you are using Ruin Blow, because the enemy has sigils, this combination is fantastic. So Murasame, Seaside Color, Crystal Globes, and Mad Minute. That will be my first recommendation. If you are building a loadout of water, then I would say Meridian Sword, Personal Style, Serpent Eater, and again the Mad Minute. The Personal Style give us 40 HP, so it helps us to be quite tanky. The Serpent Eater give us also 40 HP. Again, Grand Gloves is good because it gives us 48% of water potency, but it gives us heal. This icon is meant to represent heal in this database. Realistically, you don't want to have heal on a DPS. Because of that, that's how I chose that. On sub weapons, yeah, the two that you know about. And then for primary, when it comes to choosing your primary, I think I need to tweak this a bit, but here you can see that the Meridian Sword is fantastic because it breaks sigils. The Noble Collar could also be a choice. If you're going to want to build a team and you want the full team to do water damage, you could choose Red 13 as your companion alongside Cloud. You could potentially choose as well Lucia if a single target and it has 79 790 physical damage, but it doesn't break sigils with the Serpent Eater, so you might want to break sigils with another weapon. When it comes to primary weapon, it's a bit harder. We don't have as many options yet. Let me mention that in the Thunder category, Murasame and Shockbuster are probably the best ones, but also special mention to Crystal Globes because it breaks sigils. Yeah, I think by looking at the stats of how much damage you make, I would say, yeah, this is what makes sense. Potentially Wizard Staff as well, if you want to do magical damage. If you want to be tankier, Ramur Staff is also good. And speaking of, let me go through the last tip. Sub weapons for physical attacks, right? This is the list. These are all the sub weapons ordered by physical attacks. Rest in Peace is one of the top ones. It gives you attack and wind resistance, and then Murasame, W Machine, Butterfly Edge, and so on and so forth. Check it out. Let me know, what would you like to see next? Is it like a fire loadout? Is it like a wind loadout? Is it like a heal one? I'm working on like making more of these recommendations, and I will be providing you as much data as I can. And for as long as I play the game, I will be updating this database anytime that we have new weapons. Next time we're going to talk about how to get 5-star weapons easily in the game, which I found a way to do that, and that's really, really exciting. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you like the video, you know what to do. Cheers. Bye bye.